Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to review Heart and Hustle, season 1, episode 5. And goodness, people, what in the raising house husbands is going on? This is wild, y'all. This is wild. you know, I know everybody's going to be like, they loved Labrina's advice to Chloe. I didn't. I didn't like it at all. I'm going to tell you, I have a different point of view, and I know it's going to be contrary to a whole lot of people. But so what? I don't care. I'm going to say it anyway. First of all, Chloe. Chloe basically raised her son to be domesticated, and now she's mad. Basically, the story we now know about Chloe is that she had her son when she was young, and they ran the streets together. She wasn't responsible. He told on her. Remember, he told on her and said, you was running the streets and you wasn't paying no bills. Your mama had to pay all the bills. There you go. So she running the streets. Then she running the streets. And then it sounds like Chloe's son had to grow up real fast because his mama wasn't raising him. Instead, he had to grow up real fast, get a lot of raising done by, I guess, the grandmother. And then once Chloe was still having more babies, he had to become domesticated and start taking care of the girls. She done raised a whole house husband. And now here she is still in her selfish state saying she's resentful to Nico because he ain't taking care of her. Well, guess what you're going to think when he get a woman? His woman's going to be thinking the same thing. His woman is going to be resentful to you because you raised a whole house husband that doesn't know how to go out, earn a living, earn money, and take care of a family. That's what you raised. And then when you got this young boy who's coming in, Jordan, and I guess Jordan was raised differently. I guess Jordan was raised to go out, earn money, be enterprising. And ooh, you like that. You like a man who's enterprising, but yet you didn't raise one. And then when that man comes into your household and starts telling you you're doing everything wrong, what do? What does Labrina tell you to do? Get rid of that man. Get rid of that man trying to teach you how to raise a man. Do it the way you want to do it. Just go on over there and give him some hugs and some kisses and tell him how much you love him. Now, does he need to be told that you love him? Yeah, but you also need to give him his dick back. That's what you need to do. You need to give him his balls back. Because right now, your son, Nico, is domesticated. And you've raised your son to cater to you. You even said it, that he's out here being the man of the house. How is he being the man of the house and he don't make no money? Why are you labeling that the man of the house? A man that what, just tends to your emotional needs? So now you sit over here talking about how you couldn't have made it with Nico. Nico really helps you with he's your emotional support dog. You gave him no life skills, didn't teach him how to make it out in the world. And now here he is older, can't make no money, living up off you. You go out and get you a new man who you now think is going to take care of you. And now Nico's like, well, what about me? I'm left out in the cold. No wonder Nico's mad, because basically he's being replaced. He's being replaced. So did you raise a man to be a man in the house? No, you didn't. You raised a house husband. And here we are. How's this working, ladies? Ever since women started taking over raising boys, how are we doing out here? Are the men getting better? Now that we've kicked all of the men out of the households and told them we don't like your way, we want to do it our way, how is that working for us? Do we have a better set of men out here? I don't think that we do. I really don't think that we do. And I know that Labrina meant well when she was trying to tell Chloe, you neglected your son. You didn't give him the love and attention and nurturing that he needed. I do agree with her on that. But guess what? At this point in time, he needs more than that. He needs more than nurturing. Like I said, he needs to learn how to grow up, provide for himself, and eventually learn how to provide for other people. You see, and Labrina thinks she's a step ahead, but she's not that far. She's not that much further ahead, because Labrina has a situation whereby her son is over there with her father, and what she's telling us is her son isn't getting good grades in school anymore. He don't like school, just like a lot of teenagers don't. He does not like school. His grades are slipping. And so Labrina is saying, well, if you're with me, I'm going to instill more discipline in him and then he'll get good grades. Not necessarily. Everybody ain't made to go to college. I don't know why everyone is put. Have y'all seen the job market? Have y'all seen the job market? There is no guarantee that getting some white collar job means you're going to make a lot of money or you're going to be employed. Have you seen the people that are getting fired out here in these jobs and laid off? A lot of white collar people with college degrees. So a college degree ain't what it used to be, right? A lot of people can't even afford to even send their kids to college. So people need to start thinking differently. I know that was a safe route 20 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever, but it's not anymore. So if you have a child like Labrina, who's over there living with his father, who seems to like living over there because Labrina says he doesn't have any structure, then you need a new game plan because your son is not showing any interest in school, but you need to find out what he shows interest in. You see, here's the deal with the kids. We want you to go to school. We want you to get good grades. We know that for you to get good grades, you got to come home and do homework. How much homework do kids have to do now to get good grades? Some of them are doing 4 to 5 hours a night to get good grades. But if you got a child who has no interest in learning algebra, I understand. Because when have any of you had to use algebra or calculus? I'm a whole engineer and I don't use it. Some of this stuff they teach in school is useless. Useless. So if Labrina got a son that really isn't interested in the academic route, what you need to tell your son is, hey, in any career, any job you choose, there are going to be some things you have to do that you don't want to do. Even if you start your own business, you're going to need a business license. You're going to need to do things. So when it comes to the world and learning how to take care of yourself, getting a high school diploma is the basic. It's no different than getting a driver's license. So you need to go through high school. You need to get a high school diploma. Do you need to graduate with A's? No. Do you need to graduate with B's? No, but you need to graduate. You need to graduate. And since you've decided you're not going to be the student that comes home and studies 4 or 5 hours a night and gets good grades, that means you're going to have a lot of free time. And since you're going to have a lot of free time, then you're going to need to start making some money. Yep, I said it. I said it. Let's go back to the old days. If you're 15, 16 years old and you don't want to spend 4 or 5 hours after school studying to get A's, that's great. That means you only want to study, 1 hour? Great. That means you got 3 hours to go to a job and make some money. And you can come here and you can pay some bill. That's right. That's right. You might as well start teaching them how to budget, how to manage money, how to not only care for themselves, but to care for others. But this thing that you're going to force children to go to school and get A's when some of you can't even afford college anyway. What's the point of going to school and getting B's and then you go to college and you can't even afford college and then you major in some major that don't even pay nothing? Most of these degrees ain't even worth it anymore. Schools is costing $50,000, $60,000 a year and people are coming out making only 35, 40. This don't make no sense. People really need to rethink and they need to start parenting their children to who their children are. And in the case of Labrina, it's interesting that she got a whole farm over there with horses, riding tractors, cows, goats, whatever. And she can't find any other thing to sort of get her son interested in something else besides getting an A in algebra. Give me a break. We need to raise whole people, whole people. And what these children need to start learning is you got a lot of options out here in the world. You do. It's not like the old days where you only had one path to success. Maybe it was college. Maybe it was a trade. I don't know. Those are still pathways, but you got a lot more now. But you're going to have to pick 2 or 3. Not one, not like Nico, who says he wants to be a rap star. That's fine. I'm not going to poo-poo on your dreams. I'm not going to tell you can't be no rap star. But you know what you're going to need to do? You need to have 2 or 3 jobs. That's right. You can pursue your music career, but at the same time, you need to go get another job that makes money. There's 24 hours in a day. And if you want to pursue music and not make money, then I guess you're not going to be sleeping a lot. That's the way it looks because you've got to bring in some money. And that's how you start raising men and not house husbands. Boys need to be taught that they're going to have to provide for themselves and provide for others. So this idea that we're turning these young boys into house husbands, where we're teaching them how to care for our children, right? Why do you go out and do all the work, but then they come home and then you're mad when you're up here paying all the bills? Well, this is what you told them. And then when men try to intervene and tell you, hey, this is not where men get their sense of accomplishment. Men get their sense of pride from accomplishing things. Labrina is married to a whole ex-football player. Do you think he got A's in college? Hell no. I know he didn't, because it's very hard to get A's in college and also be good at football to the point that you made it to the NFL. But look at him. He's successful. He learned how to take his money that he earned in the NFL, parlay it, invest, do things, and look at them. Right? So this idea that the only way to success is through a college education and getting A's is ridiculous. And the more you keep trying to force people in a box that they don't want to be put in, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. So now we got a house husband in Nico, who all he's learned how to do is comb girls' hair and prepare lunches for the girls, while Chloe ran out and ran the streets, popped her fingers, twerked. She said she went to school, she earned money. She should have made him get a job sooner. She should have said, you know what? I'm not working 2 jobs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to work 1, then I'm going to come home and take 2 of the children. And then, Nico, what you're going to do is, since you're not really doing nothing in school, you're going to go out and work at McDonald's anywhere. I don't care where it is. Out here in California, they're paying people $20 an hour to work at McDonald's. You're going to work 4 hours a day. And then you're going to pay some bills up in here. Maybe it is from some groceries. That's right. Maybe you learn how to start providing, not only for yourself, but for others. No. You don't get to spend all your money on your clothes. No, you're going to learn how to contribute, provide for yourself, and help start to provide for other people. And then I'm not going to keep teaching you how to be no house husband. And I'm going to teach you that, hey, you can try different things, but some of them got to earn some money. You can try some things that are earning money. Those are called hobbies. That's great. Maybe eventually you'll turn a hobby into a business. That's fine. But in the meantime, you need 2 things. You need a hobby that may not be making money, but you need a job that's bringing in money. Because then what you get is, then you get men growing up with women who know how to make money and earn money. And then those men are sitting around saying, why are you not supporting my dreams? House husbands. I can't believe we got Chloe over here raising a house husband, and Labrina, she better be careful, because she's on the same track. She says she wants her son to come home because at her father's house there's no discipline. But you know what her father might be teaching your son? How to make his own decisions. That's what he might be teaching him. He might not be overparenting the son, and may everything be going exactly the way you want it. Maybe not, but maybe he's learning other lessons. What happens when you make mistakes, how you get yourself out of mistakes, how to use your own mind. Listen. I'm a whole manager at my job, engineering manager. And some of these young kids coming in to the workforce, they don't know how to make no decisions. They don't have no critical thinking, because what has happened is all their life, their parents have made all their decisions for them, told them what to do, what not to do, charted their whole path. Now they're out here in the world, and every 5 minutes they knocking on my office door asking me, should I do this? Should I do that? I don't know. Why do I got to make all the decisions for you? Aren't I paying you? Why can't you make no decisions? Well, because they came from a household where they were raised to be told what to do by the women of the house. And now here they are out here in the world, and they can make no decisions without checking in. It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. We don't want your house husbands and your children who can't make decisions in the workplace, because it's more work for the managers, period. Let your kids figure out something. Give them something to figure out, something to do. Parent to who your child is. Every child is not going to go to college. Every child is not going to be into algebra and calculus and history and all these other things. But everyone has a talent. Everyone has a purpose. Everyone can be successful out here. But your job is for you to help them find it, not put them in a box and tell them that this is the only path forward. Is to show them what options they have out here, that they need to explore their options, but they also need to have some successes and some accomplishments, and they just can't sit around and do nothing, not go to school and not earn no money. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But besides that rant, what else went in this episode? We got Ro and the Shaniqua girl trying to mend their fences over their big fight. When Ro told Shaniqua she had on a Timmy wig, and Shaniqua said, "This ain't no wig. This is all my hair." And in the end, what did we learn? We learned that Shaniqua was a bully. We learned that Rose said she was a bully too. So what we had two people who said they were bullied when they were younger and then they became the bullies. So now here they are as grown adult women bullying each other. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. I keep telling y'all, everybody needs therapy. Everyone needs therapy. And this Shaniqua, now we know why she was so triggered. Because it looks like Shaniqua didn't have a lot of friends when she grew up. She said because she was tall and skinny, people picked on her. That's fine. So she was probably left out a lot of friend circles. That's it. So all of a sudden now, when she's here telling Latoria, you know me, Latoria, you know me from 14 years ago. And Latoria's like, girl, 14 years ago, Shaniqua was triggered because what it reminded her of is once again being rejected by a group of girls who she wanted to be in their clique. There you go. That's what it was about. Who else brings up Facebook posts and emails from 14 years ago? It's a woman that's triggered because what she's saying is, I'm tired of my whole life not being included in girl groups. And now here I am trying to be in a new one, and Latoria is trying to act like she don't know me. Girl, this is some old childhood, high school, junior high trauma. Just like we said, it felt high schoolish. Well, that's it, because that's where Shaniqua was stuck in high school. She's still trying to fit in with a clique or a group of girls who really don't want her in their clique. Here we are. Childish trauma. Like I said, deal with it, people. Deal with it because it's going to affect your friendships. And then what Ro told us, the reason why she chimed up so much was to try to protect Latoria, because what they say is Latoria is a sweet girl. She's a sweet Southern church-going girl. And what Rose said was it triggered her because she was the girl that used to fight bullies who bullied other people. And we already know what Ro is raising. Her little girl has already told us she started having fights herself in school. The generational trauma just don't stop. So Rose said the reason why she chimed up and jumped down the throat of Shaniqua was because it triggered her from high school too, where people used to bully people. So let me get this right. Rose calls herself the savior of people who are bullied. Shaniqua says she was bullied, but here we are in 2025, and not only are they both bullying other people, they're teaching their daughters to be bullies, and then they're also being bullies too. And Rose says she don't need no therapy. Girl, go make an appointment today. Go make an appointment right now with a therapist and work through this. And with all this, how the heck can you sustain a relationship when you have so much baggage that you're unwilling to unpack and discard at your grown age? People, come on. It is worth the investment, because if you don't invest in sort of getting rid of old habits, old thoughts, old mindsets, it's just going to keep ruining your relationships here in 2025 and going forward. That's all it's going to do. And so I don't know why Ro has resisted therapy. She need to be running the therapy. Whatever they charge her, she need to pay it. And then we got Elena with her mama working through some of her childhood trauma. And she says, well, my mama was too hard on me. She made me try to be too perfect. And now what happened was I used to do makeup for free just because I enjoyed doing it. You mean like Nico, how he does music for free? Yeah, sounds like it. And then what the mama said was, you're not going to sit around here and not make no money. Oh, that's what I'm telling Chloe to tell her son. She goes, you're going to turn this into a business and you're going to make some money. So next thing you know, Elena's mama made her start charging people. Elena didn't want to charge no one. She wanted to do it for free. She wanted to do it for fun. She wanted to do it in order just to be friends with the girls. But her mama said, no, you're going to make some money. And she turned around and has turned it into a business here today in which We got Latoya giving her a little bit of old plaque for it. Those awards were horrible, Latoya. You could have done better. I know Latoya keeps saying she high class, but Latoya, that plaque, that award's not even that expensive no more, Latoya. You really could have done better than that little old wooden plaque. That's ridiculous. But anyway, now she's getting an award by Latoya for history making women. And maybe she had to thank her mama. Now, did her mama do everything right? Nope, her mama didn't do everything right. And it looks like Elena needs to work through some other things. But one thing her mama did better than Chloe was she taught her how to make a living. And that's something we teach the girls how to make a living, make money. But then the boys, we're teaching them how to do nothing but sit up underneath us, listen to what we say, and then we pay all their bills. House husbands. We are raising house husbands, and then we're raising business owner women. And we wonder why. Women who are out here dating now wonder why they cannot find leader, protector, provider men. You know why you can't find them? Because they were raised by women who taught them how to sit up underneath their mothers, become their mother's boyfriends, become catering to their mother's needs, because a lot of these mothers didn't have men in the households to do things for them that they wanted help with, so they turned their sons into it. That's what they did. And here we are. So do I agree with Labrina's advice for Chloe? No, I don't. I don't agree with it. Does it need to be a conversation about I love you? Yes. I think the conversation she had with Nico was good. But at this point in time, that man, because he's not a boy anymore, that man who's now 25 years old needs to be taught by another man how to go out in the world and provide for not only himself, but for others. And this idea that she's going to keep just giving him hugs and giving him kisses is not enough. That's not what motivates men. Men are motivated by accomplishing things. They're motivated by feeling good about themselves. Nico is now suffering from low self-esteem. He doesn't have any accomplishments out here in the world. I know he feels bad about himself. I know he does. And you mean to tell me that all he needs is a hug and kiss from his mama? Nah, he needs to learn how to go out in the world and hunt and kill and accomplish and beat his chest and show what he can do. That's what he needs to be taught. And when a man has come along and said to Chloe, listen, this is not the way that what you need to be handling your son at this point. What does Labrina and Chloe say? No, that's not what he needs. I'm going to dump you, Jordan. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just go over here and love on my son, because when he was younger, I didn't love on him enough. Then he'll grow up and be the son that wants to sit on the couch with some woman while you rub his head and rub his feet, but he ain't making no money, ain't bringing in no money, don't know how to do nothing. Don't nobody want him. No grown woman is going to want Nico. And if Labrina's not careful with what she's doing, she might raise another one. Because when you don't give your children an alternative and you say, hey, I see you don't like school, but no matter what, give them a job. Teach them how to learn a trade. All that stuff going on Labrina's farm, maybe teach him one day to run his own farm. Maybe he can own a stable of horses. I don't know. But this is how things are formed. Everybody got to start on the bottom and raise to the top, right? You know, historically, women are not as much of risk takers as men. Some women are, some aren't. And a lot of women are raising their boys in this safe cocoon world, and men need to learn how to take risk. Men need to learn how to go out on the ledge and bet big and win big. All these safe routes, the way that women are raising these boys, coddling them, giving them nice cush places to live, and no, stop it. Because these aren't the men you even want to date. How's it working for you, ladies? How's it working? Ever since women have taken over to raise boys, have the men gotten better? That's all I want to ask. Let me know down in the comments. Talk to y'all later. Bye.